Hello, everybody. Is everybody doing okay? I hope. I sure hope everybody's doing okay. You know, this world has turned into craziest situation that I've ever seen. More of the wrong things happening and doings than I've ever seen before in my life. But it is what it is, and that's the way it's going to be, because what else are we going to do? You know what I mean? What else are we going to be allowed to do? They're taking our free speech. Um, Bill Gates has got some serious heat on him. Now Elon Musk is chopping at the front end of the battle. He's constantly in the news again, building up his popularity. I guess he'll be the next one to give up half of his wealth. Bullshit, but say he's giving up half of his wealth. You know, it's done got to the point to where I'm plumb aggravated anymore with even trying to make videos, because you got to sit here in front of a computer and look to see exactly the headlines anymore. See, I left the house a little early this morning. Left at 9 o'clock, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to do much with the computer this morning other than to restart the live stream, make sure that the cache and the cookies and all the hitchhikers and all that crizzap was kicked out, knocked off, and jammed up, so they'd have to start all over again. But you know, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. I gotta show it to you. Twitch channel had 2,495 followers. It's got 2,000. Well, yesterday was 14. And the bad part about that is when it had 2020, it has gotten 10 more followers. But those 10 more followers come off. So it's more like 2009 now. Or 10. That's a lot of followers. So it did go down some more. I just, I didn't really pay that much attention to it because I didn't know I was going to talk about it yet. I am going to take a screenshot of it, and I'm going to take a previous screenshot if I can find one in a video. I got to go back a few weeks to look at a video that was actually showing that particular screen. I know I got one, but I just got to find a video. It's kind of strange that would happen to the Twitch channel. I'm used to it on YouTube. I'm used to it on YouTube because it's going down now. I had 40,000. I told y'all I had 40,000 followers. It went up to 525. Right now it's 40,435. So it's dropped a lot. It went up a lot, and now it dropped a lot. Now this is all within a week of the video that I did a week ago, not the one that I did last night. And it doesn't seem to be going back up because it went down a lot more since I put up the video. It must have dropped 20 subscribers in the last day. I mean, did they kick that many people off of YouTube? Or did they suspend that many? What the hell happened? Why do they keep messing with certain people and don't mess with others? I don't get it. Why do they allow other channels to grow and not others? And I'm talking about doing basically the same thing I do. Is because I don't whine and kiss ass and cry and complain about the bullshit. I do it in a roundabout way, and I don't know. It's weird. You gotta admit it's weird. I'm tired of actually talking about it. I'm tired of even telling anybody about it because it's so damn so much nonsense going on, which that's nonsense. I know that people unsubscribe in a bunch sometimes because they subscribed a bunch, and they do that so they can manipulate the channel. But to get information, they have to come back. And they have to come back and they have to resubscribe all those people just so they can unsubscribe them again. If I've noticed that if I'm growing too much, that sometimes those people that have subscribed, like a bunch of them in a day, 2 days, get 200-300 subscribed up in one day, I've noticed that they'll disappear sometimes. Sometimes they don't. But I've got about that many that goes and comes all the time. And it's not people, it's bots. Somebody is botting something. What, I don't know. I don't know what they're using it for. Maybe it's to use to block the channel. I don't know. But they're doing something. Because some people get lots of views and some people don't. There for a while we were getting 100 views a video, and I was like, with 30,000, I had 35,000, right at 35,000 followers and 100 views? Really? I know they cracked down on YouTube. I know they've done a lot of things to YouTube. And I know I'm on the hit list. But my God almighty, really? Do you get it? Why do they really hate someone like me? I tell you why. Because they know by God that I am telling you the truth. That's the only thing I can think of. Why else would they want to do that? Hold on, I got to get a sip. Y'all saw that straw in my cup? Well, it's not a cup, it's a can. The reason why is because these Coke cans, 7-Up, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, the little can everybody's used to. Well, I can turn it up so much that my neck won't go back anymore. When I'm sitting in the vehicle or sitting in the house, I have to turn the can up to about right here, and I have to dwiggle it, shake it to get all the juice out, the last little bit. Last little bit is so hard to get out of the can anyway. Yeah. I found that a straw don't put my neck into issues. I've learned to do different things since I had that car wreck. Because I had neck surgery. 6 months later, I was in that car wreck, and now they want to cut on 2 more discs. They want to do the same thing to 2 more. That's not that it's a bad thing, but as you can see, I have, that's as far as I can turn it that way. That's as far as I can turn it that way. That's about as far down as it'll go. And that right there before it starts hurting is as far up as it'll go. Now, some of you can really get down with your neck. I can't do that. Not anymore. It's a real pain in the ass too. It hurts a lot. Sometimes I get a headache from the muscle tension in my neck, and those things hurt a lot. So I have to pump up on pills and gabapentin and some other ones. Can't remember all of them names. They got so many damn names. I used to take ibuprofen, but ibuprofen kind of screwed up my stomach. And I don't want to have to go through that again. I was taking too much. I was taking it too frequent. I can do it. It doesn't bother me that much. But if I do too many, they tear me up. Now this other one, I haven't gave it the chance to do like the ibuprofen, because I will tell you one thing, and I want you to listen, because some people don't know this, but your stomach or your bowels, whatever you want to call it, are in control of you. You think you control that, but you do not. And that's the hurtingest crap you can possibly have in your life, literally, that you can get that can cause pain in your body. And it can cause some serious pain. So take that from me, I know. You don't want to have those issues. Trust me, you just don't. They're real pain in the butt. They might even make you forget your own name. Maybe that's what's wrong with, the big B. Or is he the little B? I seen something a long time ago, and it makes a lot of sense. It really does. You know how a baby looks as it's starting to walk and it's wrinkled up and it's got the little bubble marks all over itself? If you look at it walking away from you, barely walking away, you'll notice, whether they got a diaper on or not, doesn't matter. You'll look at that child walking away and you'll say, "Damn, I seen something like this just the other day." And it was somebody old that you might know, like yourself, or someone older than you, like a grandparent or whatever, if you got one living, if you're young. But if you're my age and you don't have none, and you look in the mirror at yourself from behind or from the front, it don't really matter, because a child's going to look the same way. That child looks just like you do. Now, they might be a little added to some of them, like the men. Not a whole lot added there, but on a woman, she has breast. So you might have that on a female that's different than most of your men. So that in the front would be a little different, but the back still looks like a child. And if the woman was, not to be disrespectful to her, but if she was small in size, then yeah, she could pass in the front too. But the big girls with the big outstanding attitudes, they ain't gonna pass. Especially if they're extrally stout and bought, meaning they're not the free stuff. They paid for the cute breastises, which that's okay. I mean, they look pretty, they look good. That's why they get them, and They get them in, some get them in their later ages so they can make things look better, because they got the case of the gone butt. You know what I mean? They don't pay attention no more. When you were younger, they woke up and said, let's go on patrol. Now they say, let's take a nap. Same thing with the guys. Used to say, let's go on patrol. When you get up in age, they say, let's take a nap. We'll talk about going on patrol later. Or like the old bull told the young bull, you know. The young bull told the old bull, says, let's run down there and get us some of them heifers. And that old bull said, son, let's walk down there, step over the fence, and get all them bitches. There's a difference. But that's the way life is. And these people that are doing these things and talking all of this craziness, I don't get it anymore. I don't understand why they talking all of this serious crap. And, you know, how come we're back at all kinds of wars going on around here again? I don't get it. There's no reason for it. And I just don't understand why there's always got to be a damn boogeyman. If we don't have a boogeyman at home creating some kind of false flag, we got a boogeyman overseas blowing up shit. But it's getting paid by somebody in the elite that's probably in our country hiding to do what he's doing. Or he just plain out lives here. Or he lives on some island. Most likely. He lives on some island, with Jeff Epstein. Because you know he's still alive. He's still breathing air somewhere, because the man that they supposedly killed wasn't him. So that's why Gates, the Billy Goats, and the Mrs. Goats are getting their divorce, because they live they're having all the fun that they can possibly have out there on one of those islands that he owns. And Elon and the Gates boy, or Fauci, all of them made all that money off all them vaccines, so they're all meeting up over there and give Epstein his share, because he had to take the fall for him. Now they putting the heat on Billy Goats a little bit. Next thing you know, they'll be involving Elon and all these other people. They just keep adding to it. Trust me, it's just gonna keep on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But yet that guy's supposed to be dead. Bullshit. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Just don't believe it. The guy that they showed photos of, well, let me put it this way. With the information that I have, that I seen, and the photos that they published to be him, that's not him. Not him. Don't care. Not him. Now, who really gives a flying crap? I don't really care if they killed him or they didn't kill him. That's not the point. Point is they're using it as propaganda against your soul and your livelihood. And they're not going to stop doing none of those things, ever. They're never, ever, ever, ever going to stop doing any of this. They're going to continue until the people quit sleeping with their thumb up their ass. And there's a lots of thumb suckers and sitters. And they rotate a lot. I mean a lot. They rotate a lot. I mean, they're worse than monkeys. You know, you ever been to the zoo when you saw monkeys pooping their hand to throw it at you? The same thing. I mean, you stick one thumb up your ass and the other one in your mouth and you rotate them? Really? The ideals of people that I've seen lately are out there. And these people that think that they're doing something that is on the right side of the fence, like Antifa, for instance, the people for Antifa. Now, look, if you would change the name and the way you were wording and how you were acting this program, and you didn't make it as a individual type thing, because I want to express this point to y'all. I don't care who you are or what you are or who you might be or who you might think you might be in a race situation. Now, you may have one portion of race that's stronger than another, but you're not going to have that much of any race that's 100%. So to claim that you are 100% of one particular race is extremely wrong. So to say, in my opinion, this is my opinion, to say that just Black Lives Matter is illogical, because it's not a true statement. You're not saying nothing that's real. You're using a propaganda word, because I'm going to tell you like this one more time. There's only one race. Only one. And the reason why I say that is because throughout all of the races for so long that it doesn't matter anymore. It don't matter anymore. And you say, why does it not matter anymore? It don't matter. The reason why it don't matter is it doesn't matter. That's a fact. It just don't matter. And the reason why it don't matter is because everybody out there, this whole world, if you don't know that you are brothers and sisters and cousins and nephews and nieces to everyone out there, no matter who the family is and who the family ain't, you got immediate family like your mother, your father, and your children. That's immediate. Then you got your aunts, your uncles, and then on beyond that, you got cousins that you don't know. I'm serious. You got cousins you don't know. You got nieces. You got aunts. You probably know all your aunts. But long time ago, somewhere along the line, a certain part of your DNA was more of something than it was something else that you might consider yourself to be as a race. Like, for instance, Obama. He called himself black. Now, he wasn't. His mother was supposedly, which she was not 100% white. She had foreign interest in her as well, like someone from England, because someone in her blood had English descent, because he's kin to Bush. And Bush was, related to the Queen. Most of your presidents have always been related to the Queen. No shit. I'm not lying. We're going to get us another sip. So, if we got all of that going on, and everybody understands that, this race thing is, it's like having an illegitimate child. It's illegitimate. It doesn't matter. It ain't no good for no one. It doesn't help no one. And if people, slaves in this particular country has been over for a long time. Okay? The slavery's been over a very long time. Those people have died and gone on. The racial thing that's going on now is one-sided in the wrong direction. In other words, the direction that it has taken is the wrong direction. We don't need to divide anymore. We need to come together as a family and stop these morons from trying to steal our world and our freedoms from us. Because if we don't, then we're going to be divided amongst each other, worse, and they're going to conquer. Why? Because that's all they want, is to keep you at each other's throat so they can control the atmosphere. One side gets too far out to the left, then they start the other side, and then it moves back to the center point. But this time they've went way past the point, and they're working on taking lots of freedoms away. And that's no shit. But it ain't just one side. Let me explain this to y'all. It's not just one side. It's not Democrats. It's not just Republicans. It's some of you independents too. And some of it is people that have come, I'm sorry, but some people that have come to this country and they've made lots of money, and now they want to try to manipulate our freedoms for their country. And they've moved in, that some of them had children, and now a lot of them are in Congress and the Senate and your town commissions and all of that stuff. And that's all good and fine. But the problem of it is you got to pay attention to what those people are about. And really understand whether or not, see, because most people that come from a foreign country, they know our Constitution than the people that were born here. And that's no joke. They really do. Or supposed to. Because they're supposed to study that along with English. So they're going to learn how to communicate in this country. But that's actually kind of went by the wayside because there's either a lot of them, there's so many of them now that that's all the language you hear, them talking to each other, or whatever. I mean, I don't have no ill feelings towards that, but at times that can be rude, especially if you're working with one of them and getting one of them to translate to the other one, and you're telling them to do one thing and the person that's translating for you might be saying something entirely different. Trying to get them to do it their way instead of your way. You ever been there? I have. I know how that is. That's crazy. But hey, everybody in the world has the right to be something. And I understand that. But the problem of it is some people are like the elite. In other words, they want what they want when they want it. And it doesn't matter how they get it, whether they step on somebody else's constitution, their freedoms, their rights. They don't care as long as they get what they want and how they get it and how it's said, so they can be free their way. Well, we have a constitutional republic in this country, and it's governed by law. We have laws. Now, we do have some stupid laws, and we have some real good laws. Some of the stupid ones are very old laws, like spitting on the ground, little nitpicking shit. Seatbelt laws, stuff that they passed for let's talk about seatbelt law a minute. Somebody, I don't know who, and I'm not going to look it up to find out, but I know that I'm old enough to know, because when I was younger, we didn't have seatbelt laws, so I was around when it happened. But we had someone, somewhere, that had a little bit of power in some state, and they beat the ground every day about their child. They got killed in a car for not wearing a seatbelt. Now, I got something to say about that. I don't have issues with wearing a seatbelt. I don't like wearing a seatbelt, mainly because if you got a seatbelt running from right here across my shoulder, now you see how high my head is from the roof. So to come straight across, to come right here, okay, that's how high the dash is, or the window, how low the window is, which is part of the roof. Now, if I'm strapped in, okay, I'm strapped in and I hit the brakes, these cables, once you hit the brake, they lock. They don't move no more. And when you're in a car wreck, if you ain't able to move because you're locked in, and just say tractor trailer, which I'm a tall truck, just to say a tractor trailer was a little higher up than normal, you was in a car, it doesn't matter. Cars are especially bad for this. This being a truck, it might not be quite so bad, but when you got the front end that's going to hit something quicker than anything else, and the odds of a car or truck going underneath the tractor trailer is kind of slim to none, okay? But a car has a very big opportunity, because generally the front of the car is a little lower than the rest of the car, so it goes up underneath the I-beam of the truck. And if you can't get out of the way of the seatbelt, which is coming across the shoulder right here, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? The person that can't move, can't get out of the seat or lay down, is going to lose their head. They're going to get decapitated, however you say it. That's not a pretty picture, not even a pretty sight. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think we ought to have a seatbelt law, mainly because I think it ought to be a person's choice. That's a right that they've taken away from me that I don't like. Now, my son don't go nowhere without his seatbelt, but that's mainly because he got thrown out of a Jeep because it didn't have seatbelts in it. And he lost his mother at the same time. She was driving it around without seatbelts in it. He got thrown out. He was pretty much okay, but his mother went off a 220-foot bridge, tall. She hit the water. It ripped her all up. What she might hit on her way down, or she might not have hit anything, but it was enough to hit the water, was enough to kill her, because you can't survive that. And if you're off balance and you don't go in right, some people can dive that high, but they've been doing it a long time and they know exactly how to do it. She didn't know how to do that. She was a good swimmer, but she didn't know how to do that, and she ended up in the water and she didn't make it. Took us 3 days. I think it was 3 days to find her. But that's the reasons why I don't want or like I don't like seatbelts. That's why. Can't help it. That's me. That's who I am. That's why I think it. Because I don't think it's good for anybody. Period. I just don't. Because I do know this. And it doesn't matter who you are. Y'all all have been through it and seen some of the strangest things happen in life. You've also seen that if it's your time to die, the most craziest thing might happen to actually make that happen. You can have a seatbelt on, but if it's your time to die, you're going to die. I'm sorry. Seatbelt or not. If you don't have a seatbelt on, if you die, it was your turn to die. But if you live through it and the roof of the vehicle got snapped off, cut off, and you had time to see it and lay down in the seat, what do you think? And you got to live. How would you feel then? I know people that tell me stories about that all the time. Now, we also know that a big percentage of the time, a drunk driver will run into somebody and kill them, and they generally make it. I've never understood that because it's actually a big thing. They pay for what they do for a long time in life. Would have been better off if they would have probably ended up dying. Now, I don't think that it's a good thing to be drinking and driving. I don't condone that even a little. Because that's dangerous. You can't get into a 5,000 or 6,000 pound vehicle and get him and do 100 miles an hour and not think you ain't gonna do some damage to something or someone. That's generally what happens. Back in the day when those kids were driving them muscle cars and they would have wrecks. Now, they had cars that had metal in them. I mean, it took a lot to bend up them old cars. The fenders that they got on vehicles, and especially these aluminum ones, Jesus Christ, man. They'll wrinkle up, be tore all to hell. And it don't just tear up part of it, it tears the whole damn vehicle up when it does it. generally. If you going at 45 mile an hour, I'm betting that just about every time, even if it's brand new, it's going to be total because the frame's going to be warped or twisted or something's going to be out of whack that they just rather say, well, we're not going to fix it. Like Volvo, if it's got anything that has to be straightened, Volvo won't want them anymore. They won't give them the seal of approval. They want the insurance company to total it out. If it's got more than $2,000 worth of damage, they want them to total it. I'm not joking. If it's got $2,000 worth of damage and it didn't bend the frame, you're lucky. But if they got $3,000 and it's got just a small twinge to the warpers of the frame, it's total. In Volvo's mind, it's total. Not that it can't be fixed, just they don't want to warranty it because it's not factory. They can't put it back to factory specs, is what I mean. They might get it back into specs, but with some of those parts that are bent and warped and twisted, and they cut something out and they re-welded it back in like 1/3 of 1/4 of the car. In other words, the undercarriage got tore up and they cut the car in a half, almost in half, and then they cut it in half the other way as well to replace that whole fender quarter pounder on the rear end or the front end, it doesn't matter. Or they had to rebuild too much of the front end because you know how they build the front ends now, they roll up underneath, and that's going to tear up a lot of stuff, basically the motor, transmission, warp, transacts, yeah, the whole 9 yards. It's just crazy how things are. But the seatbelt law, man, you know, it's a good thing that people put their kids in car seats, okay, when they're babies. They need that. Because, I mean, they don't need to be sitting in their mama's lap and being held. There's times that baby's going to want that. And I don't see nothing wrong with that baby having to come out and you're going on a trip and that baby getting fed by its mama if she's breastfeeding or bottle feeding, it doesn't matter. They want to be held when they're eating, when they're babies, like that. But this stuff where kids are having to wear seatbelts until they're so tall and so much weight, you know, it's getting a little bit out there. If they want that to be like that, what they need to do is make seatbelts that coincides with that. In other words, have the seat itself designed with a harness where they can actually strap smaller children into the seat of the car. Just my opinion. If they added, you got a seatbelt for an adult, but then you had spots in the seat where you could actually plug in another harness or it come through the seat and you could strap the child in with the harness and have it to where could be removable too, because you don't need it all the time. But if you got kids and say you're in a truck like mine, in the back I could put 3 harnesses back there for small children, for my grandkids. But putting 3 car seats back there is a little bit too much. Meaning that, how the hell are you going to put harnesses on back here? I mean, car seats back here and then have any room back there? Because you don't. Put a car seat in the back of this truck, you got room, but it's not. 2 car seats would be okay, but the third one, I don't think I think it'd be too much. It's just my opinion. Now you got the crew cab truck, which has got the big room in the back. You could probably put 3 in there with maybe not much trouble. But as far as having 2, that would be enough. But that's another story. I don't know how we got on this. I'm just randomly talking about things, folks. A lot of stuff that people don't understand. Y'all don't forget to go to the website, okay? That's tattoo, TATOOTT, at. No, not at. TATOOTT 1009.com. Go to the website. Go to the website. Check out the information, because there's tons of web pages out there. There's some of them that are missing pictures because they're a few years old, or some of the videos have gone because the web page is old. I have tried to keep up with the videos, and this new spurt with YouTube taking people's stuff down has really ate up a lot of that. I replaced a bunch, and there's still a bunch that need to be replaced. Especially when you forgot the damn name of the video. And when YouTube takes a video down, they don't give you the opportunity to have the information of what the name of the video was. They just took it down and took the name down too, because they didn't want that name to populate through their algorithm. You see my point? That's the reason why they really took it down. But it is what it is. I guess we've talked for quite a while. And all of these things that have happened over these few years, for me since 2009 online, which I was doing this before that. It was done before we had YouTube. It was done with the underground, really was done with an underground source system. In other words, somebody would make a video, they would record it, and then they would record a whole bunch of them and distribute them out through the underground. And it would get passed. In other words, somebody would take it, and at that time we were using VCRs, record it, and then pass the video, the original, on down the line. People could copy off the original. That's the way we used to do it. It's kind of getting probably back that way again, but now a lot of the people that I used to deal with, I know that several of them have died. So I don't get information from them anymore. They were my age and older. So some of them have died, and I don't have the same contacts as I had. But I'm sure that I can get them again. I just haven't done it yet. I just want all of you people to understand that the life that you're carrying, and the people that you know, the people that you love, no matter what you believe or don't believe, you know that what's been going on this last year, you know that this was really nothing more than about your freedoms and them dictating to you what you were going to do and how you were going to do it. This is training you. Whether they pass a law for it or not, it doesn't matter. They're making you give up your freedoms with their stank-ass bullshit. Straight up. It doesn't matter from where, who, or what you believe, what you don't believe. It's a fact. They're lying to you. They're going to continue to lie to you. They don't like you. They want you to be dirt on the bottom of their feet. They only want 500 million people in the whole world. There's right at 8 billion or more now in the world. They want that to go away. They want people to die. But we had all these people supposedly, okay? So did the population drop? I don't think so. Not enough. Not to where they want it to be. But I'm just making this point to you. The Georgia Guidestones was put there for a reason. And y'all all seen the reason. Now, some people have tried to make a spot out of flying a drone over the top of it. And this one guy, this black guy, went across it and flew a drone across it. And he seen a red spot on top. Well, then somebody else made another one not too long ago. That same red spot's still there. Now, I want to explain this to y'all. Blood, from the time that I seen it the first time to the time I watched it the second time, that blood, if it had been blood, it would have been washed off. So it's not blood. The reason that the video was made to start with was saying about blood. It's not blood. It was paint. Because paint's the only thing that's going to stay on concrete and stay there for that long a period of time. Because I seen that video 5 years ago, give or take, and I just seen the other one within the last 3 months. I didn't watch the whole video. I just seen that and I seen them talking about it. And I have nothing wrong with the person that did the video. They were talking about something just about the Guidestones, period. That's all they were doing. And the reason why I thought I would mention it is because of what I had seen in the past and then seen that video, and I figured I'd mention it. So if any of you that did see him, either one of them, you'd understand that it was not blood. It was some kind of paint that stained or stuck to the roof of the Guidestones. And that's a fact. No joke. I'm not lying to you. Just telling you what I heard. Since that place is not that far away, and I'm retired, well, I gotta have a drone to do it because I can't fly. And I'm not gonna take no ladder with me and climb up to the top of that thing because I'm not climbing no more. So I have to get me a drone first. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but because to get a good one, you gotta spend some money that I don't have. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I might still go up there. I might know someone that's got one of those things and I could borrow it, or they can go with me. And we can get the drone to fly on top and see what's going on. Whether it does or not, we'll see. But it ain't too far away from me as far as I know. I'll have to find it. Exactly how far and make a day to go there. Or something. In fact, so it's close to Atlanta. I ain't sure where it's at, but if it was close to Atlanta, then I could probably tell Dutch to meet me up there, and me and him could have a rendezvous. I don't know. We could see. I don't know. We'll have to wait. I got to figure it out. But me and Dutch was talking the other day, we ought to start us a new radio show. And I said, well, we ain't got no way to share it, nor push it. I said, my Facebook's gone and my Twitter sucks. I says, if we do anything on your channel to share it, to tell anybody what we're doing or how we're going to do it, we ain't going to get no viewers. I mean, they'll come after you and start trying to shut your channel completely down if you did anything other than what you're doing. He said, yeah, you're right. I says, if we do it on my channel, who's going to come? He said, what do you mean? I said, you know what I mean? You can't share it. Who's coming? Nobody gonna come. So, you know, there you go with the radio show thing. If we're still doing it, it'd be different. But we're not. We hadn't done that in quite some time now, so we ain't doing it. As far as I know, I mean, things might change. We might be able to do something later, but right now we can't. It is a nasty looking day outside today. It's daylight, but it is cloudy as hell. It's real cloudy. Probably gonna rain. I guess if y'all look at my live stream and look at the weather map on there, you'll probably see what's going on. That is, that's something else. College of the Page has been clicking out lately. It'll run for a few hours and it'll just shut down. Won't do nothing. You have to refresh the page to get it to rework. It's constantly kicking it out. I think somebody has abused the browser somehow, because that particular browser, it refreshes on its own. I have nothing to do with that, but it kicks itself out. In other words, it shuts itself down after so long, which is weird. Everything's weird. Have you noticed how things have changed, not for the better, with your Windows 10 programs lately? You have to be very careful in what you talk about. I'm not kidding you. Or share what photos you share. I got photos that are good photos that don't get shared, not even a little bit. It might get 2 hits right off the get-go, and right after it gets too many hits right off the get-go, guess what? It quits. It don't get no more. It's like they take them right out of the feed. I'm not joking. Like if I share them on a community page, that pisses me off. Perfect picture for something you're trying to say without saying it, okay? Then it don't get viewed. It's like, why ain't it getting viewed? I don't get it. I mean, people aren't stupid, you know what I mean? And YouTube knows that. So, of course, if it indicates anything by their rules, it doesn't matter what it might indicate. It could be indicating a lot of things because you didn't say anything. Just showing a photo. But if it has anything to do with anything that they're going to say, and they ain't sharing, depending on who you are. Now, if I was somebody else, might be different. And if I hadn't lost my big channel, things might not be so bad. But it is what it is. And this channel now is bigger than that channel was. But I still haven't lost as many subscribers on this channel as I lost on that channel. See, I lost 80,000 subscribers on that channel. So there was people that knew who I was on that channel, even though those people were unsubscribed or they lost their channel. A lot of those people, I noticed, lost their channel because on that channel I was losing 100, 200 subscribers, and it was all in a month's time of people that lost their YouTube channel. So there you go. But it is what it is. You know, folks, I don't do this because I'm trying to get rich, because I'm not. I'm not doing it for money at all. You notice the ads has been turned off now for some time on all of my videos. For a lot of reasons. I did it for a long time for, ads, maybe 3, 4 years, maybe it was 5 years, I don't quite remember. It's been 4 or 5 years, I guess. And before that, I didn't do it for money. Always had a job up until a year since COVID. I worked there for 22 years, and the company is almost completely gone. They may end up surviving at the end, but at this particular time, they're not doing so frisky. And, it is what it is. And all of us people have got to come together. Got to quit being divided by racial divide and politics. This is a constitutional republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. I could finish it, but I ain't gonna. Don't need to. You get it. That's most of the pledge allegiance up to the republic. Y'all know it. Should know it by heart. You should teach your kids. Every day, you should make them say the pledge allegiance now to them at the kitchen table before they go to school. Because the schools don't do it anymore. They don't talk about religion. They don't talk about the pledge allegiance. They don't talk about religion. Someone got it banned. And that's a terrible thing. Because that's something that should have never been done. And teachers, if you got any cojones and bizzles, whether you're male or female, I don't mean it rudely or disrespectful, but you're going to have some cannolis. And the reason why you're going to have them is because what I'm fixing to say is going to take some real humping to do it. If you was to teach your children in your classroom that every day, you'd be doing something really wonderful for your country. Even though they want y'all to stop that. And we're talking about the big corporations. They want you to be a democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a republic. We've always been a republic. But if they confuse you and they confuse the whole world into saying we're a democracy, which means mob rule, they can do whatever the hell they want to. But it is what it is, and you are who you are. So with that, from my cold dead hands, I damn well mean it, abolish corporate greed for your freedoms. And if you can't speak freely, you're simply not free. I did not speak completely freely here because y'all know why. I'm saying that, telling you that right now because that's a fact. There's a lot of things I want to tell you and I want to shoot them down and go off on, but then I would be hit with something like false information, and I'd get hit with harassment and bullying, and I'm not even talking about anybody. I'm just the way I'm expressing it and saying it in my normal way. That's what I would get hit with, because that's what I got hit with one of the videos I'd done in this last year. And as soon as the video went live and it went through its plan, I had to delete the video because of the remarks and what they said in the video back to me about it had all kinds of things wrong with it. So I can't talk that way anymore. I can't tell you how hard it is for me to talk to y'all without really getting upset like I used to. And telling you how I used to think that was the best part of my videos, was me getting into it deep and passionate. And I can't do all of those things like that anymore because of the way the new algorithm, and all this horse crap is. So with that, one more time, from our cold dead hands and a damn well mean it, abolish corporate greed for your freedoms. Corporate greed is major corporations, and your government is a corporation. They all coincide with one another. Much love. Have a good day. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Much love. Please share. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell on YouTube. Please subscribe to my Twitch channel. Follow me on Twitch and DLive. Make sure you go to TATOOTT1009.com to the website. Much love. Y'all have a good day now. You hear? Thank you for coming.